Hello, everyone. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. Happy first Tuesday of 2024, January 2nd. I'm so excited you guys decided to join me this evening. My name is Dr. Staci, and I am going to be sharing with you information this evening about Lifewave's technology. If you are a guest, welcome. Thank you for being here. And please know that the information I'm sharing tonight is for informational purposes only. So if you have questions regarding your health, your health condition, situation, of course, please check with your healthcare practitioner or your doctor. This information I share is not intended to prevent, cure, treat, or diagnose you in any way. I am not a medical doctor, and I'm definitely not your doctor. And so I'm my doctor, but my husband and my son's doctor. But other than that, and my dogs, of course, you would need to check with your doctor if you have anything that is regarding your health. I personally have a PhD in integrative medicine and a PhD in functional medicine. And so if you're wondering, I focus in the holistic world, in the alternative world, in the world that honestly makes a whole lot of sense. It's all about helping the body get into balance. And so my background in health and wellness started from a child. When I was young, my mom had 2 gardens. And back then you didn't have to worry about organic versus non-organic because we didn't have the craziness that we do today. My dad was a hunter. He would go hunt deer or rabbit or squirrel or whatever with my grandfather. And so what we had at our home was real food. And it was things that was, safe and healthy and clean. And of course, cleaning products and personal care products and things like that were all very natural. My grandmother used essential oils and herbs, and I'm sure that a lot of you can relate to that as well too. So for me, that was my upbringing, and I got involved in health and wellness at a little bigger version when I was about 18. I started doing different types of detoxes and cleanses. I don't know why or how I got involved in that, but I did. And so those things kind of became routine for me. And over the last, 35 plus years or so of that, since I graduated high school, I've just been very focused on nutrition and detoxification and different types of tools and modalities to be able to help improve my quality of life, my family, and other people, of course, that I care about. I kind of think about a toolbox like a lot of you guys are probably thinking about your toolbox for your tools, or I know you've got your tackle box. It's got all your different lures and baits and things like that in it, and you use different ones for different things. And that's me in the holistic world. I use different types of herbs and supplements and nutrients and different therapies and technologies and modalities to be able to help bring the body into balance if it is out of balance. And if it's not, then keep it in balance. That's the whole focus, right? So what I'm going to share with you tonight is a tool that I have found that I have been utilizing in my toolbox for the last 2.5+ years. And it's something that I decided to partner with Lifewave because of how revolutionary this really is, honestly. When you look at this technology and the information I'm going to share with you tonight, there's nothing like it on the planet, that's for sure. We have a 20-year patent on one of our patches alone, but all the patches are patent. And so knowing that this is not a Me Too product, it's not another lotion or a potion or a cream or a supplement, and not saying that those don't have validity, they do, but this is definitely very different than that. This technology that I'm going to share with you tonight doesn't put anything in your body. It's non-invasive. It's very simple and easy, effective, affordable. It's proven, clinical studies, and I'm going to share all of that with you tonight as well too. But just so you know, for me, like I said, with being holistic and into different types of treatments and modalities, my focus has always been in regenerative medicine, and with an emphasis on stem cell therapies and technologies. And I learned about stem cells literally 23 years ago, 22 years ago, when I was pregnant with my daughter, and banked both of my kids' cord blood, decided to bank my daughter and then my son's cord blood. And everyone thought we were crazy. They're like, my husband, of course, he was like, whatever you want to do, that's fine. You do the research. It's up to you. But that's not his cup of tea. But for the rest of the family, they're like, you're nuts. I'm like, well, no, I really feel like this could be something that could help people down the road, help my family or, others if the cord blood stays banked and we donate it, whatever, it could help people. And the whole premise was that stem cells heal. And I knew that, right? I started reading a lot of books and doing a lot of research and talking to a lot of doctors. And then many of you do know my daughter's story and what happened with her. If not, it's on my YouTube channel. But we ended up, after spending a year in the hospital with my daughter when she was 4, coming out to not a child that was able to take care of herself, required full care with feeding and changing and bathing and everything else. And so being in a wheelchair, we saw all different types of alternative holistic therapies. What happens if you get in the hospital? One thing leads to the next, and you're in a situation you never thought you'd be in. And so we really focused in that holistic world. And part of that, a big part of that, was doing different types of stem cell therapy in and out of the country. We did hyperbaric oxygen chamber therapy. We did donor cells. We did her own cells. We did laser directed technologies with her own stem cells from Germany, and did all different types of quantum tools and modalities to assist the stem cells, because she had had so many surgeries and complications, but had had a massive brain bleed during that hospital stay. And so when I found Lifewave a little over 2.5 years ago, to me, to understand what stem cells were, or the power of stem cells to heal the body, that wasn't a question. It was just, how much is it? How fast can I get it? Really, it doesn't matter. Just give it to me, right? Here's the money. Here's the cash. And so for you, you may be going, yeah, I'm a little skeptical, or I don't know. I need more research. I need more background. I need more information. So I'm going to share that with you tonight. But I do want to give you an opportunity to be able to ask questions towards the end as well, too. But I want to share with you the basics of this technology, how this works, and also be able to provide you what we call the frequently asked questions, right? The commonly asked questions that people have, to make sure you have that understanding. So you walk away tonight and you go, yeah, this is definitely something that I want to utilize myself. I want to utilize for my family or my friends, to be able to help people improve their quality of life, or like myself, just be able to continue to have the best quality of life and prevent potential diseases or issues down the road, those top 5 degenerative diseases, right? Cancer, diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's, dementia. Prevention is key. And if you're in that situation where you're not in the best of health, then I'm going to share with you how you can get yourself back in the best of the health, because this technology gets to the root of the problem. And that's what you need to understand, that this is not going to mask a symptom. This is not going to make your numbers look pretty so that you can, be chained to this for the rest of your life with tons of adverse side effects. This is actually going to help balance the body, the organs, the systems, the cells, to be able to help your body live, and you live your best quality of life. So let's talk about what this is, all right? And we're going to talk about the inventor who invented this, and how this works. So this is a non-transdermal patch, okay? It's sticky on one side, it's smooth on the other. This is the white part in the center. That's what we're going to talk about here in just a second. This is what David Schmidt has invented. David Schmidt is the inventor of these patches. He is the owner and CEO of Lifewave. And so he has literally been given this information by the divine, downloaded these patch ideas, this technology from God. And so I want to share that with you, and how this works and how this can help you. So when you put this patch on your body, nothing is entering your body. Remember, I just said this is non-transdermal. So you're probably familiar with pain patches, birth control, estrogen patch, nicotine patches, things like that, that put a chemical or a substance or a nutrient or an herb or homeopathic remedy, or, even frequency, right? I see those little circle patches and they're like, oh, this is an energy patch, frequency patch. This is a sleep frequency patch. This doesn't work that way at all, okay? Nothing is entering your body at all. No chemical, no medicine, no herb, no nutrient or anything. And so this is a wearable light technology. And when I say light technology, I want to talk to you about light therapy. I'm sure you're familiar with red light therapy, infrared saunas. Brent literally just got out of our infrared sauna just minutes ago. And I'm like, I've got to Zoom. You got to go. He was standing there talking to me, dripping. I'm like, get in the shower. But he just got out of the infrared sauna. So different wavelengths of light cause change in the body. And we call that photobiomodulation or phototherapy. So light creating change. That's how this technology works. But the difference is you don't have to go sit in a sauna, even though I highly recommend it. It is amazing and it's so beneficial for you in so many ways. You don't have to go to the chiropractor or the Medi Spa and lay in a red light bed, or go to your acupuncturist and have red light therapy or blue laser therapy or cold laser therapy. You don't have to go anywhere. There's no outside light source needed for this patch to work. But you're familiar with those things, right? I mean, light therapy's been around for since the beginning of time, the sun. That's huge light therapy. This uses our body as the light source. We are light. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but we emit light. We are literally trillions of cells of light. And you can see that under the microscope. You can see the light being emitted, the glow from the cells. Google it sometime. Check it out. Okay. Watch it on YouTube. But we are trillions of cells of light. We emit this light, low level infrared light from our body or our body heat. We can see this and it's measurable. If you go outside right now, I don't know where you guys live, but I live in Sarasota, Florida, and it is dark. It's a little chilly right now too, but it's dark. And so I can't go outside and see my neighbors down the street or the animals in the woods that are right out back unless I was looking through night vision goggles. If I look through night vision goggles, then I can see the neighbors down there or the animals. I can see the outline of them, their shape in color. In blue, green, red, orange, yellow, whatever color. It's called thermal imaging. So you guys are familiar with that. So that heat or light is being emitted from our body, and that is visible. We can see that not with the naked eye, but with the night vision goggles. And so when I put this patch on my body is the power source. My body is the light source. My body's light hits that patch immediately, that white part in there that I'm going to share with you what it is in just a second and how it works. And my light then is reflected back into me. What's inside of this patch is actually a crystal lattice structure. That's what David has invented, and it's reflective. And that lattice structure is made up of a proprietary blend of organic amino acids, oxygen, water, and sugars. Now, I don't mean amino acids from like my pre-workout that I use in the morning, or sugars as like a sugar that you would put in to bake a cake or, put in your coffee in the morning. Not those types of amino acids or sugars, but actually molecules that form together in a very specific way that form this lattice, and they're reflective. When you put this patch on, your body's light hits the patch, reflects back a very specific wavelength of light that enters the body immediately. You don't feel it. You don't see it. It's no different than Brent sitting in the sauna right now. He didn't feel the infrared wavelengths of light entering his body, right? He didn't see them entering his body, but yet they were. They definitely created a change, that's for sure. And it wasn't just the heat that's happening. So when you put this patch on, your body's light hits it, reflects back a very specific wavelength, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about what happens. But just know that this patch has a 20-year patent. David has invented the combination, the solution of molecules that are in here that reflect back a very specific wavelength, and that wavelength of light is what's patented. And so when we look at that patent, we know that that patent shows that this patch, when you apply it to your body in the morning, when you get up, you brush your teeth, you put your patch on, it's going to elevate a peptide in your body. That peptide is GHK-Cu copper peptide. And so how do we know this is patent? Because we can prove that that peptide is being elevated in the blood of people in double-blind placebo studies. We can see this. And we also can see that that elevation of that peptide is in turn activating our own stem cells. And so if someone, I'm sure will put in the chat for me, a website, it's startx39now.com. You can go to startx39now.com and you can see all of the clinical studies. You can see this is X39. This is the stem cell activation patch, thank you, Laura, that David has invented. And you can see the patent right there that shows that it activates this peptide. It elevates GHK. And it in turn activates your own stem cells. So I want to share something with you real quick. If you don't have these books, I highly recommend you grab them. So this peptide, we're going to talk about it first, GHKCU copper peptide. This peptide that this patch activates was discovered by Dr. Lauren Picard over 50 years ago. This man has spent 5 decades doing clinical studies and research on the benefits of elevating GHK. Just go to PubMed and type in GHKCU. You'll see there are tons of benefits, tons of clinical studies on there, but his website also has a wealth of information, and this is a book you can pick up on Amazon. Most commonly, GHK is known for what's easy, hair, skin, and nails, right? Anti-aging, reverse aging for the skin, lines, spots, wrinkles. Your estheticians know all about GHK. They know all about stem cells too, right? And so that's probably how you're most commonly going to know about GHK. But Dr. Picard has spent 50 years looking at other benefits of GHK for things such as asthma and allergies and COPD, cancers, colon, breast, prostate, looking at the benefits of, activities in sports and recovery and fitness and things like that. He has tons of information on his website, and I'm sure you can find lots if you Google as well too. But I want to share this other book with you. So Dr. Harmon is one of our own. We have him in our organization here at Team Evolve. And Dr. Harmon, I'm sure many of you have his book, released this book last year. It's on Amazon as well too. And he has taken the benefits of GHK and he's broken them down into categories. Very simple to and easy to understand chapters on the benefits of elevating GHK. Cardiovascular benefits. If you go back to my YouTube channel from February of last year, I spent a whole month talking about the benefits of X39 GHK and some of the other patches on heart health. Lots of benefits on neurological health, neurodegeneration, benefits with cognitive, all brain. Dr. Don Verholst and I spent 4 weeks in November doing different Zooms on brain health, and we utilized a lot of Dr. Harmon's information from this book. GHK also benefits, like I said, athletes, performance, recovery, fitness. It helps with pain and inflammation. We can see improved circulation. Like I said, of course, hair, skin, and nails. But also what I wanted to share with you is the benefits of elevating and activating and mobilizing your own stem cells. So what happens is we put this patch on in the morning, we brush our teeth. We don't feel it. We don't see anything happening, but it immediately elevates GHK. That's happening instantly. What happens next is 4,200 of our genes, over a third of our genes, are reset immediately back to their young, youthful, healthy state. Over 4,000 genes. You're brushing your teeth. You're like, do, brush your teeth. And your genes are being reset back to their young, perfect, healthy state. Like think in utero, perfect genes. Okay, that's called upregulating them, upregulating your genes. And genes express to other genes. We're going to talk about a compound effect with this patch here in just a minute. But genes express to at least 1 or 2 other genes. So what happens over time is going to be very dramatic for you. And for those of us that have been patching for a long time, 2.5 years later, we can see and feel those changes in our body. We can see them on blood work. We can see them in scans. We can see them on the outside with before and after pictures, how we feel, how our body is functioning. And so that compound effect, like I said, we're going to get to that, is very important. But when you put this on, because of it resetting a third of your genes, one of those genes is actually able to help activate, elevate, and mobilize your own stem cells. So we call GHK the fountain of youth. We call stem cells the holy grail of healing. And this patch elevates and activates and mobilizes your own stem cells. So here's the thing. You were born from stem cells. We got a sperm, we got an egg, they come together, they have fun. They're stem cells. And the baby starts taking shape. Head, brain, body, connective tissue, bone, muscle, heart, liver, kidney, all of it, eyeballs, the whole 9 yards, is formed from these stem cells that can change. They're what we call pluripotent. Well, once the baby's born, you were born, then you have those cells that stay, heart cells stay, liver cells stay, kidney cells, but there are some that are able to stay pluripotent. And that happens because the body has its own ability then to repair and regenerate itself, keeping the body young and youthful. Think about a 5-year-old. You don't see 5-year-olds running around with gray hair. You don't see 10-year-olds with heart disease, and you sure don't see any 12-year-olds with back pain, right? It doesn't happen. Those kids are young and youthful. Remember back when you were a kid? You have boundless amounts of energy. You could go nonstop, ride your bike all day long, right? You remember you left in the morning and you didn't come back until it was dark at night. Nobody knew where you were, nobody cared, but you were fine, and you came home and you played all day, and then you eat your supper and you go to bed, right? And you just sleep like a baby. Remember that? Sleep like a baby. And your brain was sharp as a tack, and you were constantly learning. You were taking in new information all the time. And then you started to age, right? And we used to think that 50 was middle age, but now we know that 35 is middle age. By the time in your 30s, you only have half of your stem cells. The rest of them are there. They're just tired. They're worn out. They're dormant. And by the time you're in your 60s, I don't know, we've got over 300 people on here right now. I don't know if that's you, but if you in your 60s, you have less than 10% of your stem cells that are active. That means 90% are dormant. They're tired. They're worn out. They've done everything they could to keep you young and healthy and youthful, and it's just their time to lay down, right? And so when you were young, you could ride your bike or fall out of a tree, get up, break a bone, no big deal, take off running. Grandma falls out of bed, she's probably not getting back up. And if she does, she's probably not going to completely heal because her body is just not able to. That degeneration process is taken over. She doesn't have those active stem cells. So when you put this on in the morning, it elevates that peptide, which does so many things in the body, and it activates and elevates and gets your stem cells woke up again. So let's talk about that compound effect. It happens over time. Okay, this is not 30 days and you've got 30 years of problems that are fixed. If I told you that, you should hang up right now and take off. This is not a quick fix, okay? I want you to understand that. This is not going to get a stem cell injection. Right? If you have shoulder issues, range of motion problems, pain, inflammation, and you can go get a stem cell injection, hopefully to avoid a surgery or something like that, you might have some pretty quick results. Maybe, no guarantees, hefty price tag, probably about $25,000, but you may have some immediate results, improvement in your functionality. This doesn't work that way. Your body is smart. It knows how to heal itself, and it knows in what order to do that. So when you put this patch on, elevating and activating, waking up, resetting those stem cells, that's going to happen day after day, week after week, month after month, depending on your age, how long it takes to wake them all up. Get them all mobile and moving and doing what they did in your body when you were a kid. Now, you're going to feel things along the way, and I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute. We're all different in what we feel and how fast we feel it. We know that for sure. We have millions of people that are using this patch, and everyone has a different experience, but we do have some similarities because we have clinical studies, and so I can share that information with you, of course. And of course, people share their personal testimonials over the time. But basically, what we find is it's 1 month for every decade you are old to wake up all of those dormant stem cells. So if you're in your 30s, it's probably going to take about 3 months, right? I mean, you still have half of yours active. So it's going to take another 90 days to wake all the rest of them up and say, let's go. Come on. Remember when you were in your teens and your 20s? Well, if you're in your 60s, it's going to take 6 months. If you're in your 70s, 7 months, and so on. So here's the thing. That does not mean you've crossed all your things off your list. All your problems are gone. All your numbers are perfect. All your scans are perfect. Maybe it might happen for you that way, but it might not. And so the reason why is because we all heal at different rates. And our body, like I said, is smart. It knows what needs to be healed first. So you may say, oh, I've got bone on bone in my knee. It hurts so bad. I'm going to have a surgery. I want to use this patch. I'm going to put the patch on my knee, and I want my knee healed in the next 90 days. And you're 75. And we're like, yeah. Not going to happen. Okay, let's be realistic. I'm not going to tell anybody that's going to happen. That doesn't even make sense to me. So, you're not even going to get all your stem cells woke up in 90 days. Okay, you may not even probably get half of them woke up in that time frame. You don't even have any if you're in your 70s that are active. So you may have some pain reduction. You may have better range of motion in that knee, but it doesn't mean that you're going to have that knee healed in 90 days. Okay. So it may be something that your stem cells go, you know what? This knee is not your biggest problem right now. We have some cardiovascular issues that need to be tended to. All your stem cells are going to go to your heart. Now, you don't get to direct them, of course, and you don't know where they're going. So you don't know. I mean, it's not like your body is saying, hey, guess what's going on there? Cheryl, I'm going right to your heart today. Don't worry about your knee. We'll fix that in another 7 or 8 months. So you have to be patient with the process. Okay. Be patient with that process, but know that if you keep patching, you'll be crossing those things off your list. What kind of things do you cross off your list? Well, most commonly is pain. A lot of people do have issues with their pain level, whether it's back pain, hip pain, knee pain, neck pain, headache pain, whatever, wrist pain, joint pain. And so a lot of people can cross those things off their list. Typical, based on our clinical studies, people see pain reduction in about 3 to 6 weeks. Doesn't mean it's gone. It just means they have some reduction in pain. Maybe it's gone. I don't know. We have One Patch Wonder Club people. We have people that have had pain reduction in the first week. Like I said, we're all different. But that's kind of common, some pain reduction. First 3 to 6 weeks based on clinical studies. And those studies, again, of course, are at the startx39now.com website. But we also see better quality of sleep. The X39 actually helps elevate your own GABA, and GABA helps you get a good restful sleep. And so that's a beautiful benefit, usually in the first 3 to 6 weeks. Another thing is more mental clarity, mental energy, focus, concentration. People tell me all the time I get more done in 2 weeks now than I've gotten done in 2 years. Who doesn't want to start their new year off that way? Let's just clean out the closets. Let's get the house in order. Let's get our finances ready. Get your taxes done, whatever right now. And let's just get it all whipped out here in the first 2 weeks of 2024. And so that mental ability, that cognition, that memory, those things seem to improve pretty quickly for people. Make some changes in the first 3 to 6 weeks. People also experience physical energy. That's why X39 is a daytime only patch, because of the physical energy that people experience, and also faster recovery from activity and fitness. And the other thing is wound healing. We see that when you use X39, activating your own stem cells when there is an injury, say for an example, a surgery, or maybe you've had an accident, then we can see faster wound healing with the X39. Prime example, my dog last night. Yesterday morning, she fell off the couch, just normally jumps off the couch. She's a Frenchie. She's got little bitty short legs, and the couch is not that high, obviously. But she must have twisted her shoulder or fell on it wrong or something like that. And so she was not in a good way yesterday. And so I put that X39 on her. I used a couple other patches. I used the Eon and the Ice Wave, and she pretty much stayed in bed all day. She was limping at best to go outside and go potty and go right back to bed. But by last night, she was up. She was wanting to snuggle a little bit, and she got up this morning, good to go. And so what did I do? I put a patch on her. She's 5, right? There's nothing wrong with her. But she injured herself. So I put a brand new X39 on her, a brand new Eon. I put a white Ice Wave on her right shoulder. I put a tan Ice Wave on her left shoulder. And I'm like, come on, patches. I don't have time to go to the vet, and I don't want to take her to the vet on New Year's Day. That would be a super expensive vet visit, right? To do an x-ray and all that stuff, not to mention the wait time. Plus she hates getting in the car. So the patches did their work. They did their work. And here she's 24 hours later. She's literally laying on the floor right now snoring. I hope you cannot hear her. She's a little, what do you call this? Little overweight Frenchie. We try really hard, but she's got English Bulldog in her. So it's hard to get her weight down. So she snores, but she's feeling great. She's up, moving around. She's playing with our poodle, her sister, and just having a great day today. And it's because of the patches. So basically, you guys, we're all different. We're all different in the way we heal. We're all different in the time that we heal. But if we continue to patch day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, then our body will be able to get back into balance. And so here's the one thing I want you to know before we do questions. There are no contraindications. A lot of you are probably thinking, I'm on medications, or, my grandfather's on this medicine, or my dad's on this medicine. Can we use the patches? There are no contraindications with any medications at all. Why do I say that with confidence? Because there's nothing entering the body to have a contraindication with. So this is a light therapy, a light technology. It is a wavelength of light that's entering your body. That is called a biophotonic exchange of information. When that happens, a biochemical reaction takes place in the body. And that cell-to-cell communication, what's happening, immediately takes place. That activation of that peptide, that elevation of those stem cells and activation of their stem cells Literally it's happening at the speed of light inside of your body. And so you cannot say, oh, this is going to interact with my blood pressure medication, or oh, this is going to impact my thyroid medication. Nope, definitely no contraindication. So a lot of times you have to be careful with that, right? With foods or medicines or drinks, alcohols, things like that, herbs. There's a lot of interactions. I know for my functional med PhD, we had a book this thick of all medicines. It was this big, this thick, tiny print, every single drug on the market as of that moment. Right then, I'm sure there's plenty more been added to it, but every interaction with food, alcohol, drinks, herbs, supplements, nutrients, you just had to know them all. Like, this is why I'm not a pharmacist, obviously. But the main point here is that with the patch, no contraindications, no side effects. If you go to startx39now.com, you'll see with those clinical studies, every one of them, we have over 90 on there. You have to list if there are any side effects, any adverse reactions with people. Zero adverse reactions, zero side effects from the patches. All the patches do are activate your body's own ability to get into balance, to do whatever is needed to do to bring that system, that organ, or those cells, or whatever that may be happening with the patch into balance. David has invented a dozen different patches in the last 20 years. We're not going to go through all of them tonight, but know that we do have a PDF. It's an all-in-one patch summary sheet. And so the person that invited you, they can get you that information. They can share with you that patch summary. If you go to StartX39 now, you can see a video that's been done. Myself, I did one going through all the different patches and a summary. David has taken every single type of patch and done a 1-hour video sharing clinical studies on each one and talking about the different systems and whatnot, or organs that are being impacted by that patch. And so the information's out there for you to be able to grab. Literally everything's on startx39now.com, so you can learn about each patch and what it does and how it impacts the body and helps the body over time, right? Some things you see pretty soon in the first couple days, but for example, the cardiovascular system, we don't even see any changes in it for 6 weeks, like zero changes on week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 weeks, we start to see it functioning younger than it was before. But same thing with the brain. Not really any changes in the neurological system. Maybe a little hint of something around 3 weeks, but man, at 6 weeks, we can see some changes in the coherence. That left brain, right brain are communicating better. Anxieties come down. The brain's in more balanced state, which is super important, right? So all those types of studies, all that information's on there. And like I said, no adverse side effects or interactions or contraindications with anything you're doing. But remember, I'm not your doctor. So if you have questions about your health, please check with your doctor. But what I do want to do right now is be able to answer any questions that you have. You don't have the ability to unmute yourself, but you do have the ability to type in the chat to be able to ask whatever questions that you have in regards to your health. Just keep in mind that I'm not going to make any references to any diseases or disorders. So if you tell me, I've got diabetes, what patches do you recommend for that? I'm going to talk to you about the organ of the pancreas because we don't have any clinical studies on diseases. If we did, we would claim then to treat or cure them. And we're definitely not here to make those kind of claims to treat or cure any disease or any syndrome. So remember, we're looking at different types of symptoms that you're experiencing, and we can talk about the different organ function or system function, and I'll make references back and forth to that, okay? So the first question someone asked is, anyone working on an index or a directory to the topics I have covered? No, sorry. I am not working on that. That is definitely not my forte, and I don't have anyone that is currently working on that. I don't even know how that would even happen. Everything's on YouTube for my personal stuff, my YouTube channel, which is Dr Staci, and it's in order by date. So I don't have anything in order by topic. But if it is a specific topic, like I said, heart health or brain health, Laura and I did one on weight loss a few weeks ago. Dr. Stan and I did one on the immune system. That's in the heading, the specific topic. And some of them just say, ask Dr. Staci, because it was literally me just doing what I did tonight and then answering questions, which is just going to be the basics. And then, of course, diving into your questions. But that is a fantastic idea. Just definitely not one I have personal time for right now. And I don't know how to do that if I did. Oh, and Nigel's really snoring. Okay, so how many people participate in the studies? So studies are all different. If there's a pilot study, it may be 15, 20, 30 people, but an actual clinical study where you're looking at double blind, placebo controlled, you have to have at least 60 people in a study. Sometimes they like 75, but most studies are perfectly fine with 60 people. The studies are done, and you'll see this. Thank you, Dr. Tim, for sharing that on there as well, too. But the studies are done in different places. They're done by different doctors, by different researchers all over the globe. So this is not Lifewave over the last 20 years only doing the studies and giving their opinion on this. We're definitely have, lots of researchers and doctors that are doing the studies. So you're going to see a lot of information on there. So let's look at, do the studies have participants in their late 70s? Yeah, a lot of them actually do. When you look at the most recent patch that David invented, X49, he did the studies with people that were in their 50s to 70s because of that. Because that patch X49 activates a daughter peptide to X39. So X39 is GHK, X49 is AHK that's elevated. They work really, really well together. Think of a mother and daughter that love each other, and they work happily together. And so when he invented that patch, he did because of wanting to improve lean muscle mass, increase lean muscle mass, stop bone loss, increase bone density, help remove body fat, cardiovascular benefits, neurological benefits, all things of people that are aging. What he found, though, not only did those things benefit that population, was that athletic performance was dramatically improved. The endurance time, the pulse rate, the heart rate. It brought, so many other huge benefits when you look at recovery in circulation and being able to help the body to get back into that homeostasis faster and not have any downtime. So it's huge for athletes. But yeah, a lot of the studies are definitely geared towards people that are older. If you have headaches when you start X39, so I'm going to share this with you. This is a perfect time. Water. Look, it's water. It's just water. This is a reverse osmosis water. And this one here is actually, it looks cloudy, but this is actually mineral water, sparkling water with limes. I actually have the squeeze thing that squeezes the lime juice in here. And so that is my other glass of water. So these two will be finished before I go to bed tonight. So water is your key. And not just water, but actually water that is healthy and safe and good for you. I don't mean get it from your tap that's full of fluoride and all kinds of chemicals and toxins. I'm talking about either a reverse osmosis or a really good, healthy spring water, something that is, you may have a water filtration system, something that's giving you clean, healthy, pure water. Get your water tested if you have not. So that's really important. If you are experiencing headaches, you're probably dehydrated. Most people are. Most people don't drink half their body weight in ounces in water every day. And even if they do, a lot of times their electrolytes are not in check. And so their body really, their tissues and cells aren't hydrated. So here's the way this patch works. I said this activates a peptide with using our body's own light. So that biophotonic, that photon, that light exchange of information, that's an electrical type of exchange. It's a frequency exchange. And so we need water in our cells and in our tissues for the conductivity with this light therapy. So when you use water on a daily basis to hydrate yourself, that's fantastic. But to really hydrate the cells in tissues to improve cell-to-cell communication and to improve the way you feel and function and actually improve the quality and the length or short time in your results, if you want a shorter time to have results and see things and feel things, I recommend you get Celtic sea salt. You can purchase it on Amazon or your health food store. One crystal of Celtic sea salt on your tongue, not on your food. You can put it on your food. You can put it in your water. That works amazing. I do that every day. But one crystal on your tongue before you drink this glass of water, before you drink 3 or 4 or 5 glasses of water throughout the day, That's going to take something is different with the tongue. That is going to take all the water. And because we are salt, that fluid inside of us is a salt water solution. It's not regular. You don't drink the water and then the water is just floating around in there. It's a salt water solution. And so using Celtic sea salt brings the water into the tissues and cells to actually hydrate you. It is so important that you stay hydrated. Electrolytes are key to your life. Like, you'll die if your electrolytes are off. So, and you won't feel great. And most people are deficient in magnesium. Most people are deficient in potassium, and most people are deficient in the right kinds of salts. Celtic is your best. Pink Himalayan sea salt is not bad. You just have to be careful because they've started mass producing it. It's coming from China. You can buy it at Home Goods. You know, like, what kind of quality is this? So you got to be careful with your pink Himalayan sea salt today. And there's only around 80 trace minerals in it, where your Celtic has over 90 trace minerals. So if you have a headache, you probably are just dehydrated. So drink more water. That's my long answer to that, but a really good point to bring in. So someone says her friend just had thyroid cancer, which resulted in part of her thyroid being removed. Should the patches work just as well in this instance? Yeah, they definitely, we've had people that have had partial thyroid removed. We've had all thyroid removed. She has several hormone issues, compounding other problems. What patches, in addition to X39 and Eon, would you suggest? The other patch I would recommend is SP6. SP6 is the patch that balances your endocrine system, and your thyroid is obviously there in that area. And so I would use this patch with your X39 and your Eon. Why can you not reuse the patches? That's a great question. So 2 reasons. Number 1, okay, this patch, what's inside of it there, that lattice structure, starts to dissipate, okay? We are 100 degrees. And so that communication, that heat interacting with this, that lattice, those molecules can only hang on, right, around 12 or 14 hours, which is like why my dog, her name's Nigel, it's a her, but her name is Nigel. My son named her after the cabin steward we had on a cruise 5 years ago. He was a great guy. We loved him. And so he's like, I want to get a puppy. Name the dog Nigel. And we got off the cruise ship and got a puppy and named it Nigel. She's a really good dog. But that's why I put a full one on her. Normally, you would take your patch off, and there may be a little bit left in, and you'd put it on your little dog. Well, she just injured herself. I wanted her to heal like this, right? To avoid the vet bill, like somebody else said. And so I put a full patch on her. But the patches aren't going to work on the next day. And they're not going to work as well or at all if you continue to wear them longer than 12 hours. And what happens is our body, just like the patch, is done, right? We need a break after 12 hours. Our body says, whoa, okay, I've done my interaction. I've communicated. I've done all this signaling, right? This cell signaling. I need a break. I need to repair and regenerate. I need time off. I need some downtime. And so based on the studies, based on the research, based on the findings, because David tried everything in between, all the above, the results showed with all the patches over 20 years, 12 hours was the best amount of time to stimulate, to activate, to elevate, to interact with, to have that cell-to-cell communication with the patch. And the 12 hours off gave the body time to repair and regenerate, and also gave the signaling molecules a time to go, okay, we're going to chill. And then patch on next day, boom, yeah, let's do this again. So it's definitely not beneficial. Actually, if you continue to wear the patch for a 24-hour period, your body's going to get like, nope, not interested in that, and you're not going to get the results. And then, of course, if you take it off and then you save it, you put it on again the next day, it's not going to have the same benefits, the same results. So good question, though. Let's see, Telegram. If you have a positive ANA screen and a high ANA titer, can this help an autoimmune disorder or return blood platelets back to normal? So I don't know what you mean by ANA screen. I'm sorry, I'm not for sure what that is off the top of my head right now. But when you look at autoimmune types of issues or any type of blood issues, anything in the body, X39 can help because it activates your own stem cells. Your stem cells can repair and regenerate, restore, rejuvenate anything and everything in the body. I cannot say 100% based on what you said there, iPhone, that it's going to work for you or fix anything, of course, as I can't with any type of issue or situation, but I can tell you that stem cells can repair anything and everything in the body, and they're yours. And your body knows how to heal itself. It's just gotten out of balance. This is something else I want to bring up. Any diagnosis that you have, any disorder or any condition or issue that you've been told you have, the really second best patch to use is Eon. And the reason why I partner these two, we call them the dynamic duo. The reason why is because we know at the root cause of the disease process in the body is inflammation that's not under control. And so your cells become inflamed from the environment, from toxins, from the food, from the water. Stress causes inflammation in the body, obviously accidents, injuries, food, right? Lifestyle choices. But using these two right here are always going to be your starting point for anything and everything. So again, you're not going to see clinical studies on autoimmune disorders or platelet counts. We're not going to look at those things in our studies. We are looking at homeostasis. How can I improve the functionality of the organs in the body? Well, your platelets have to do directly with your spleen. Can these patches impact your spleen? Can they improve the functionality of your spleen? 100%. You can look at our Eon patch and you can see organ function improved. You can look at glutathione, carnosine, Alavita, SP6. You can see organ function improvement in the patches. And obviously, X39 can repair any organ that's in the body, right? So the one we did on weight loss, I mentioned a doctor who detoxed from mercury. Is there more information on the mercury detox? So basically that person that I had done some research on last year, what he was using was what he made himself, which was a combination of a supplement to help reduce inflammation in the cells, to reduce inflammation in the body. And the other thing that he was using was another supplement, which was glutathione. And so in a nutshell, to detox your body, you would definitely want to obviously use X39, but you would want to work on reducing inflammation. Inflammatory processes in the body are what are getting the body out of balance. And a heavy toxic load in the body are getting the body out of balance. Glutathione is the master antioxidant, the master detoxer, the master immune booster. Everyone knows that, right? That's the biggest one in the whole body. So antioxidants chomp up free radicals. They neutralize toxins in the body and help eliminate those toxins. The difference with his supplement and glutathione supplements on the market, or even IV pushes of glutathione at the end of an IV drip, the difference is those outside sources of glutathione are going to elevate the glutathione in the body by about 20 to 23%. But glutathione only has a 7-minute half-life. 7-minute half-life. That means in a couple hours, it's chomped all it can, it's neutralized all it can, and that glutathione is gone. This patch, because it activates a peptide in your body to elevate your own glutathione, it does that over 300%. So it doesn't elevate glutathione 20%. It elevates your own over 300%. And because of David's patent technology, it actually sustains that elevated glutathione level for a 24-hour period. So when you look at helping to detox the body and helping neutralize toxins and eliminate things that are harmful from your body, using X39, Eon, and glutathione are definitely the patches to do that. I am definitely not a cardiologist, so I do not know what test to get your heart checked. I'm sorry, cannot answer that question. How about patching during flu? Flu season is 24/7, 365. There is no flu season. That is made up stuff to get you, and we're not going down that rabbit hole right now. But you can get a cold, a flu, a virus at any point in time during the year. Your immune system is your immune system. It doesn't change in the winter because it's cold. So you want to keep your immune system up all year round. To do that, you would use X39, you would use Eon, you would use glutathione. Carnosine is the second largest antioxidant. It's fantastic as well too. Carnosine's more localized, where glutathione's systemic throughout the whole body. Carnosine likes to hang out in the brain. It likes to hang out in the heart, which is why you've heard us talk about it on our brain and heart health series. It loves to hang out in the organs like the pancreas, for those of you that are worried about blood sugar issues. And of course, carnosine's great for the eyes and the muscles. So it's a fantastic antioxidant, but specific areas. So patch all the time, every day. And if you do feel something coming on, double patch, triple patch if you need to, right? When we got back from conference in October, Brent said, I think my lymph nodes are swollen. My neck hurts right here. And I'm like, you know what a man flu is, right? We don't have time for that. Like women get sick and we keep going. You never miss a beat. Man gets sick. They're on the couch for weeks. So I'm like, nope. You're going to you got on your X39? Yes. Okay, great. Glutathione on this lymph node, glutathione on that lymph node. Go drink some water, pound some vitamin C, vitamin D, take your greens, take your reds, and come back to me when you feel better. It was about an hour later. He goes, oh my God, I just had my first product experience. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, instantaneous results. I feel totally different. My lymph nodes aren't even swollen. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Goodbye. And so I just had him put one glutathione on each one. You can multiple patch. If you feel like something's coming on, give your body a bump, give it a boost, right? Give high doses of vitamin C, high doses of vitamin D, like give it that pop. So that way, you know, colloidal silver, we use that. You know, they're like, oh, drink 1 teaspoon. I'm like, BS, I'm gonna drink a cup. Like I don't want to feel any of that stuff. We got to get rid of, nip all that in the bud. Remember, a lot of it's in your mind anyways. You can control everything in your body, but there is no flu season. Patch, 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 patch. Definitely take your supplements, take your nutrients. When you look at the adrenal system, that's part of our endocrine system. So we would use the X39, Eon, and SP6. And I love what Dr. Tim said about glutathione as well, too. And that glutathione impacts every single aspect of your body. The oldest people on the planet in the blue zones, if you've heard Dr. Stan and I talk about the blue zones, those people have the highest level of glutathione, and they're all way over 100. So got to keep that glutathione level up. Obviously, they're not patching. We get that. Their lifestyle choices are different and such that they've kept their glutathione elevated, kept their body healthy. There is no flu season in their world, right? And all their other practices that are absolutely amazing. If you forget to take off the patch at night, when you should repatch. Yep, thank you, Leah. Skip a day. Just give your body that 24-hour break. I've been patching for 15 months. What lab test should be requested to show the patches have done for me? What lab test did you have before? So that's the thing. I mean, obviously, I don't know how old you are, but looking at biomarkers, a regular medical doctor, that may not be something they look at. They can definitely pull the blood work. You're going to look at all of the organ function, all of the system function, and that's usually about a 7 to 10 page report on the different types of numbers that they're looking at. So I would look at what you've looked at before and say, okay, here's where I was before. Where am I now? It's been, you said 15 months. So that's what I would do. If you're already taking amino acids in the patch together and using a medical grade infrared sauna, will that accelerate results in timing? So anything you can do to keep your body healthy is obviously amazing. Sauna is amazing. Amino acids are incredible. Definitely, but I can't say that it's going to speed up your patch results. People have said, well, if the sicker people, they're going to get results faster because they're so sick. The healthier people, it's going to take forever for them to notice anything different. And I've had people say vice versa. There's no rhyme or reason. Age doesn't matter. Nationality doesn't matter. Sex does not matter. Weight does not matter. Health status, everyone's so different. The way their body responds is different. There's no two people on the planet that have the same insides, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. There's so many variables. And so there's not a way to say that you're going to get faster results if you are doing these things. Obviously, if you're doing those things, then you're doing things to keep your body healthy, to keep your body in that homeostasis state. So it's definitely only going to benefit you. It's just like me. I didn't have any health conditions. I didn't have any issues. I've taken care of myself. Like I said, I started literally detoxing at age 18. So I've always been very health conscious and done things to make sure that I've kept myself healthy and well. And those things that I said, even growing up, I high dose myself with anything. If I felt something coming down, I'm like, not happening. Don't have time for this. I was a kid that never missed a day of school and never missed a day at work. Never. Like I have literally never laid on the couch sick, not feeling well in my entire life. because I've just always done the things to keep my immune system up. I've always known the power is in the immune system, keep my gut healthy, eat right, do those things. And I highly recommend you do as well too. How long do the individual patches last? It's 12 hours. You can definitely wear more than one patch at a time. We don't typically recommend you double patch with the same patch. Like you don't need 2X39s, 2 eons, 2 glutathiones, 2 carnosines every day. Your one patch is going to give you the 100% of the benefits. 2 patches, that second one's only going to increase the efficacy about 20%. So it's not really cost effective. And unless you just need it or you don't care, it doesn't matter to you if you've got an injury. Right? If you've got an acute injury, maybe you want to put, or if you feel the flu coming on, like a stuck to one brand, like go, right? It can help boost for a short period of time. But you can definitely patch. The day I met David, he had 13 patches on, and at that time, he'd only invented 11. Some of them were experimental. My first day patching, I put on 6. I don't recommend you go put on 6 if you're not like, I'm say healthy. If you're not on your detox game, you may not feel great if you put on 6 patches. So just start with your X39 and Eon. Give your body some time. Do patches help with autoimmune issues? Absolutely, 100%. Balance, it can definitely help with that. Does X49 have to be used with 39? Yes. We can see much better results in our clinical studies. There's no way, trust me, when you look at the chart, with X39 by itself, with X49 by itself, and when you put those two together, it is a no-brainer. Can I wear all the patches at night? Or only the skin and when and why? So the answer is no. We have daytime patches and we have nighttime patches. Daytime patches are X39, X49, and Energy Enhancer. Nighttime only patches are Aloe Vita and Silent Nights. Any of the other patches, you can do day or night. It's your personal choice, but keep the day and the night the night. What if we are on the condition we need to limit water on a daily basis? Then I would look at the types of foods that you can consume that are high in water. Your cucumber, your celery, your melons, watermelon, honeydew, cantaloupe. Obviously buy organic, please. But those types of fruits that are high in water content. Look at teas. Can you do herbal teas? Do as close as you can to get your water intake where it needs to be. And if you have to use fruit, that's okay too. But we want to make sure you stay hydrated. Is SP6 the best to help with kidneys? SB6 is going to be great for the kidneys, and actually all of the Y-age patches are good for the kidneys. Your Eon, your carnosine, your glutathione, even your Aloe Vita impacts and benefits the organs. You're very welcome, Kathy. Thanks. Is alkaline water okay? Yeah, you can use alkaline water. Just make sure it's clean. Make sure it's a clean source, right? When I used SP6, was throwing up for 5 days straight on 2 separate occasions. When I stopped the patch, I was fine. Would this be detoxing, not enough water? That I have never heard of someone throwing up. I've heard people tell me with SP6 they've been on the toilet, like getting their digestive tract. SP6 impacts the intestines. Do you poop daily? That would be my question. We're supposed to have 2 to 3 bowel movements a day. So if you're not hydrated, obviously you would not feel good. But if you're not having bowel movements, it's got to come up somehow. But I've never heard anyone throwing up from the patches. So I don't know. That I'd have to have a little bit more information on that. I was introduced to liquid IV for hydration with the patches. Does that work? I'm not for sure what liquid IV is. Sorry, I cannot. Oh, ANA is an inflammatory marker. Thank you, Sarah. I hope I answered your question. That was too long ago to remember the rest of it. I'm sorry. So if you need to rephrase it, you can. We've got about 1 minute. Does it matter if X39 and Eon are both yours during the daytime as opposed to X39? It doesn't matter. Whichever's most beneficial for you. Okay. What patches would be helpful for mental illness? Definitely your X39, your Eon, your carnosine would be great. It balances the brain. It's amazing for the brain. X39 and Eon are the patches I held up. What about the thymus? How is the mechanism of action for it? So as far as the I'm not really for sure what your question is, but I mean, X39 is going to help all of your organs and glands. The SP6 is going to help all of your organs and glands as well too. That thymus gland is going to be impacted in that way, but I'm not really for sure what you mean your mechanism of action. I don't have a reference for the best water. For me, we have an RO system. We use, if we have bottled water, we drink mineral water like the Topo Chico or San Pellegrino, or we'll use Aquapana for a still water. So if we drink bottled. Celtic sea salt is Celtic sea salt. If you go to Amazon, it's Celtic sea salt. There is no brand. That's what it is Celtic sea salt. And then X39 Eon don't have to be worn together, no. All right, you guys. So if you have any other questions, please get back with the person that invited you. They can definitely answer those questions. We are all connected together in one community, and so we help each other. You're all connected to amazing leaders in Team Evolve that can help you to be able to make sure all of your questions are answered and that you are able to decide on what patches work best for you and your needs and your family. And if you have any other questions after that, please feel free. I know a lot of people do put their questions on my YouTube channels. I'll have this up on YouTube in a little bit later. I've got a Zoom right now. I've got to hop off here and hop onto, but thank you all for joining me on this first Tuesday of the year, and stay tuned. We are going to be diving deep into detoxification and talking more in depth on detoxification over the coming weeks, because it is very, very, very important for your health and your longevity. So thank you all for being here. I look forward to seeing you again next Tuesday. Have a fantastic evening.